You were never supposed to fit in. You were always meant to be set apart. And you probably wondered, like, why me? Why do I feel so uncomfortable in certain environments? Or why do I feel so uncomfortable around certain individuals? And you probably wondered, like, why do I feel alone in a room full of people? That's how I used to feel because I didn't fully understand why I felt so different. I didn't understand that I was different. And being set apart is not something that you notice right away. I feel like it takes life experiences, and I feel like it takes experiences with people in order for you to see the difference, in order for you to see that you are different and you're not the same. You don't live the life that everyone else lives. And at first, it feels like you're out of place. It feels like you're on the outside looking in almost. And like I said, you may find yourself being uncomfortable in certain environments or in certain situations or around certain individuals. But it's not because you're broken or you're awkward or you're weird or you're strange. It's not because of that. It's just simply because you were not meant to fit in. Like, you were not meant to blend in with the crowd. You were meant to stand alone. You were meant to be apart. And you're different. You're not regular. You're not normal. And that's okay. I feel like it's cool to be different. Everybody is not meant to live the same life. Everybody is not meant to be able to get away with what other people can get away with. And I feel like people praise being different, or they praise being set apart. And yes, it's a peaceful journey. It's peaceful. It's calm. It's quiet. Okay. But it can also get lonely. And it feels lonely. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk about that. You can feel isolated. You can feel lost. You can feel misunderstood, even by the people closest to you, because they don't understand that God called you here to live a different life. Everybody's not going to understand you. Everybody's not going to like it. You're going to be talked about. And I feel like you have to learn to come to a point of acceptance. Like, you have to learn to accept that you're different. And I feel like once you accept that you're different and you're not like the rest, that's when God will begin to transform your life. Once God sees that you're okay and you understand that he set you apart for a reason, that's when he'll start to transform you, and he'll start to refine your identity, and he'll start to let you see yourself the way he sees you. Once you accept that you're set apart, you'll start to see life through a different lens, and you'll start to understand that God placed you here for a specific reason. And it's deeper than you, it's bigger than you, and honestly, it's really not about you for real. When God called you to do something, it's not really about you. Your calling is about a collective of people that you don't know, and he's using you as a vessel to reach those people. And sometimes, in order for God to fulfill his purpose in you, he'll have to come in, interrupt plans in relationships. He'll have to quiet down all the noise around you. He'll have to close certain doors because you can't hear him and you can't see him clearly. And when you're set apart, you probably still will want to experience what other people experience, or do what other people do, or be around certain people, but you won't be able to do that because you're different and you were set apart, and God is trying to use you. And in order for him to use you the way he wants to, he's going to have to step in, because sometimes we get in our own way and we get in God's way. And once we get in God's way, that's when stuff starts happening. Everything, like I said, interrupting plans, ending relationships, just closing doors, just so we can see him and we can hear him. He'll have to step in and he'll have to intervene. And that's not because God is punishing us. That's because God is protecting us for everything he's built up inside of us. He knows the path that he has for us. We don't know anything, or we may know a little bit, but like I said, there's a bigger picture, and we know there's a bigger picture, but God sees all. We can't see the full picture. He knows the full picture, and we can't step in his way when he's trying to use us for his will. When you're set apart, your path won't look like everyone else's path. You may move slower. You may lose people. Well, you definitely will lose people. You will be misunderstood. Everyone is not going to understand why you are the way you are. Everybody is not going to understand why you're so different. They're not going to understand. They're not going to understand why you chose the narrow path of peace, healing, truth. Nobody is going to understand that. And you have to come to a point where you accept that, because God always intended for you to be who he called you to be. He always intended for you to be this specific person. And you have to remember everything that's being removed, all the canceled plans, all the relationships that ended, even with people you grew up with, even with family members, somebody you love so much. He had to end relationships, and he had to move things around in order for you to be who he always called you to be. And being set apart isn't about being perfect. People like to label different people as they think they're this, they think they're better, they think they're perfect, when it's not about being perfect. It's just about being willing to take this path. It's about being willing to walk away from what doesn't align with you. It's about being willing to trust when it doesn't make sense. It's about being willing to choose obedience over popularity. And it's about being willing to grow, even when it's uncomfortable. It's not about you being perfect. Nobody's perfect. We're just different. And we know we're different, and we accepted that we're different, and we're going to move differently because God has a purpose for us. On this path, you'll have to learn to be okay with being misunderstood. You'll have to learn to be okay with people talking about you, people calling you crazy, people calling you weird. You have to learn to be okay with that and accept that. Let people talk. It's okay if they don't understand you. Let them talk. They don't know you. God knows you, and he sees you. He refined you, and it don't matter what people say about you. It don't matter what they call you, what they say you think you are. It doesn't matter, because you are exactly who you think you are. You are exactly who God says you are. You don't have to explain what God told you. You don't have to explain your calling, because first of all, nobody is going to understand anyway. They're not going to understand it, because it's not for them to understand. It's your calling. It's what he set you apart for. It's for you. It's not for everyone else. So don't try to fight people and try to make them understand why you're living different, or why you can't do certain things, or why you can't go to certain spots no more. Don't try to fight people and make them understand, because they're not going to understand. They're going to continue to judge you. They're going to misunderstand you, probably on purpose. They're going to talk about you, and you're going to have to accept that. So just continue to walk your walk with God, and continue to understand that you were set apart for a reason. You were meant to live differently from the rest, and accept that. It may take some time, but just learn to accept it and learn to understand that it's a bigger picture. And we may not be able to see the bigger picture, but just understand that there is a bigger picture, and God has a purpose for setting you apart from the rest. You're not weird. You're not strange. Okay. You're not awkward. You're just not meant to live the life that others live, and that's okay. And don't feel lost, because you're not lost. You're exactly where you need to be. And God is preparing you. God is positioning you, and you are exactly where you need to be. So don't feel lost. It may feel lonely. It may feel like you don't know which way to turn, or you don't know if you're going down the right path, but just keep the faith and keep walking your walk with God. Stay faithful. Keep choosing alignment over approval. Don't seek others' validation. Always seek validation from God. God knows everything. God knows what he called you to do. So just continue to walk in faith, and continue to ask God for direction if you feel unsure. Continue to ask him to guide your steps, and continue to ask him to show you the way, because he will show you the way. And stay faithful in the quiet. Stay faithful in the calm. Just stay faithful and continue to walk your walk, because the life you're being called into, the life of peace, calm, quiet, healing, that life is worth any and every sacrifice. So just keep the faith. And yeah, that was my message for today. I don't know, something just called me to get on the camera and say that. I don't know who needed to hear it, but if you always felt different and set apart from the rest, then this is for you. You have to accept that you're not normal, you're not regular, you're different, and that is okay. And we're in this together. So thanks for watching. And yeah, I'll see y'all in my next video.